In this program, we're going to learn how to increment and decrement to increase or decrease the values of variables by 1. We'll also learn about prefix and postfix operations as we increment and decrement. So I'm going to call this class Increment and Decrement. I'll put a little information at the top. And there I wrote that we're going to learn how to use plus plus, that's for increment, and minus minus, that's for decrement. We'll start with the numeric value. I'm going to use pretzels. You can use whatever you want. And I'm going to have my number of pretzels at 64. And I'll display the number of pretzels that I have, just to check and make sure everything is okay. Check it out. And we've got them, 64 pretzels. You can use whatever amount you want. Maybe you need more pretzels. I need more pretzels. I'm going to get one pretzel at a time. There are multiple ways to do this. The first way you may have learned in another language is pretzels equals pretzels plus 1. Remember, we always take the right-hand side and assign it to the left. So that's certainly okay. That will increase the pretzels by 1. They should go up to 65, and they do. Another method you've probably learned is to do pretzels plus equals 1. This also will increment the pretzels by 1. They go up from 64 to 65. But the shortest and easiest way to do this in Java is pretzels plus plus. That will make the value of pretzels go up by 1. And we call this an increment. Very easy if you just need it to go up by 1. And this also works. There they are. We can get more pretzels this way. Every time we need to get a pretzel, we'll just say pretzels plus plus. So I'm going to copy that line, paste it to get 3 more pretzels, and then I'll display how many pretzels I've got after that. If I pick up 3 more pretzels when I had 65, after that first increment, I should be up to 68. There we are. Every line of code, pretzels went up to 66, 67, and 68, and then we displayed it. Again, when we go up by 1, that's called an increment. Well, we've got these pretzels. Certainly we must be getting ready to eat them. That's going to make each pretzel go down by 1 if I eat 1 pretzel at a time. And we can do pretzels minus minus for decrement. That's the shortest way to accomplish this task, to decrease by 1. I'll display the pretzels, and this should take us to 67 pretzels. Pretzels will go down by 1 to 67 and then display. There it is. Plus plus takes us up by 1. Minus minus drops us down by 1. And when we go down by 1, that's called decrement. We can also have the plus plus in front of pretzels. This will also make the value of pretzels increase by 1. There is a little difference we'll check out later on, but for now it's going to look the same. We'll expect pretzels to go up to 68, and they do. They were at 67, now they're up to 68. We can eat another pretzel the same way. We can decrement pretzels with the minus minus in front instead of afterwards. This should drop the pretzels back down to 67, and they do. When it's just one line of code, it doesn't really matter if it's before or after. But we're going to check this out to see how it's going to impact what's going on. We're going to mess with postfix first. That's when we put the plus plus or the minus minus after. That's what post means, is after. We'll display how many pretzels we have just to make sure we know where we're at before we start messing around with postfix. And our current amount is 67. So coming up, we're going to use postfix to get more pretzels. We're going to try to accomplish two things on one line of code. One, we're going to display the number of pretzels, and two, we're going to increment the number of pretzels, all on one line of code. So I'll have pretzels, and I'm going to say pretzels plus plus. That will make pretzels go up by 1, but it will also display the number of pretzels. We'll do this multiple times. And we'll check out what happens when this is accomplished with postfix. When do the pretzels go up or get incremented by 1? After it's displayed. So on line 46, the value of pretzels is displayed, then it's incremented. Same on 47 and 48. That's why the first time you saw pretzels, it was still 67, then 68, then 69, and then finally on line 49, the current pretzel amount is 70. It just went up after pretzels was displayed on line 48. So with postfix, the value is returned, then it is incremented by 1. So we saw what pretzels was, and then it went up by 1. It's different when we use prefix. Prefix is when the plus plus or minus minus is in front of our variable. So I'll copy all that code, but I'll take the plus plus from behind and put it in front. With postfix, the value of the variable was returned, then incremented by 1. But with prefix, the value is going to be incremented by 1 and then displayed. So you notice our current pretzel count was 70, and then before pretzels were ever displayed, they went up to 71. With prefix, again, the value is incremented and then it is returned. That's why the very last line there, 58, pretzels was the same value as we saw on line 57, because the incrementing had already happened. Let's return to postfix as we eat some pretzels. So now instead of using plus plus after the variable, we're going to put minus minus to decrement the variable. Thinking about what you've already seen in this video and knowing that our current pretzel amount is 73, what do you think is going to display when we run these new lines of code? Will that first line have a 72 or a 73? You see that it shows 73, because with postfix, the value of pretzels is returned and then decremented by 1. That's why you saw a 73, then a 72, then a 71, and then the current pretzel count is 70. That's because after pretzels displayed from line 65, it was decremented by 1 down to 70. Let's go back to prefix as we eat some more pretzels. And so now instead of the minus minus coming after the variable, we'll put it in front of the variable. And if you think about what happened when we had plus plus in front of the variable, what do you think is going to happen on line 71? Our current pretzel count is 70. The first time it displays there, will it be also still 70 or will it drop to 69? It goes down to 69 because with prefix, the value is decremented and then displayed. So that's the difference between postfix and prefix. With postfix, the value is returned and then it is incremented or decremented. With prefix, the value is incremented or decremented and then it is returned.